Hey everybody, it's Modesta Mahiga. I'm going from Purpose and Excellence and from life, wherever you know me from. I am here to share something with you that you're gonna love. I want to talk about how you can change your careers in less than 30 days. So a lot of the people that come to me about career concerns. Look, I've been in transition. I've been at home with kids if it's a woman, sometimes men as well, but I've been at home with the children for a while. I want to get back, but I don't want to go back to what I used to do. Or I am in an industry right now, I'm working in a context where I really just fell onto this job. I just took this job. Hey, Hannah. Oh my goodness, Hannah, it's been such a long time. How are you? Hi, Sherikwa. Hey, Tom, welcome. So you may say that I am doing what I'm doing because I kind of just fell on this job. I really did not mean to continue my career in this area. And so now I want to do something different. But how do I do that when all I know is what I know? How do I do that when my entire CV only shows one area? And so I have a lot of these questions that come up when I'm coaching. Hi, Alice, welcome. Whether it's the master plan or executives that are looking to pivot. And so this is actually also relevant whether it is a job and career transition in terms of employment, as well as if you're in business and you want to switch industries. So how can you change careers in less than 30 days? Listen, this is a hack that I have used in my life, and I thought to share it with you. So I am outside on the deck today, looking all natural, coming at you with this amazing topic, and I've got 11 to 12 pointers. Number one, if you're looking to change careers or you're looking to change industries, stick to something that you are strong at. So your gifts, your talents, your strengths. Angela, welcome. Make sure it's still within that area. Why? Because you're trying to hack this thing. You're not winging it, but you really don't want to move incrementally. You want to leapfrog into the next career. And so you want to make sure that you're not flailing around and wondering how to do this. You want to make sure that it's still something that you can smoothly, seamlessly transition into. So your strengths, your gifts, your talents, make sure that this area that you want to look at can still bring the best out of you. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, immediately, like without further work, immediately start following influences in this area. And so I have done this for the pivots that I have made. If you guys look at the work that I've done, welcome, Beta. The work that I've done, I have pivoted many a times. And even as a consultant, I have added skill sets and services, welcome Danny, services to my portfolio. And not everything that I offer as a consultant, I actually went to school for. I'm a lawyer, I'm an advocate. What am I doing in human capital development? What am I doing in strategic planning and management consulting? And so this is how you can switch careers. You can completely transition in less than 30 days. Number one, make sure you're staying within your gifts, your talents, and your strengths. Number two, start following influencers. So the people, whether they're in your network that you know, or authors of books, or people you have heard of, or industry authorities that are always being cited by other people, look for them on Twitter especially. Look for them on LinkedIn. You don't necessarily, hello Dada Margaret, welcome. You don't necessarily have to ask them to befriend you. You can just follow them. There are a lot of influencers that I follow, not necessarily ask them to be my friends, because some people might be like, who are you, what do you want? Hey Esther, welcome. So this is what I do. I go to Twitter, I go to LinkedIn, and I'm doing Facebook and Instagram as well. So I will look for people, either I've heard them as authors or speakers or like the industry experts in a certain area, and I follow them, and I love social media. Do you know what else I do? I go check who they're following. Who's influencing my influencers? And so I go to check who they're following, and I look through, and sometimes I get so excited to see, like, I'm actually following some of your influencers. Hey, we're besties. Okay, maybe not besties. So I go there as well. I start clicking on the people they too follow. Because some people follow very few, a select type of people, or either type of people or experts in the areas, and so you do that. That way, if you're on social media as often as yours truly here, hey Andrea, welcome. If you're on social media as often as I am, then your feed starts reflecting the information of this new career that you want to go into. Mioma, welcome. This is a beautiful, amazing way. I remember there's a friend of mine who I asked, should I do an MBA? And he said, Modesta, with the way you're going, the fact that you've been consulting for as long as you have, and the expertise that you have gathered, this is what I recommend that you do. Go to conferences. Start following people that are the experts in their field. He says, if you do a couple of conferences a year, in no time you have the knowledge you need, because listen, there is book knowledge, and then there's what happens in the industry, there's what happens on the streets. And so start attending conferences rather than go sit down do an MBA. Nothing against MBAs, guys, because I truly meant to do an MBA. He just said, no, with your experience and what you're doing, why don't you just follow, go to conferences and start listening to the experts in the field talk about certain areas. And maybe they're pivoting to a certain niche, or they'll say something that is trending at the moment, or they will go deeper into an area, and you will get valuable insight, not just on the technical academic area, but actually what is happening on the ground and how the movers and shakers in that industry are influencing things. And I really love that advice. Thank you, by the way, John. G, welcome. Matilda, Andrea already said hi. Beta, Lucamelo, welcome so very much. So that's the second thing. Number one was make sure it's still within your gifts, your talents, and your strengths. Number two, follow the influencers, the authors, the speakers, the industry experts that created certain framework, or they created, a certain standard. Follow them. Or maybe the top organizations in the world. There's certain people in a position. Yes, people, I go onto organization websites and I look at who's sitting in positions in the areas I'm interested in, and I go do a search. I Google them, I go to social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, I follow them, then I follow who they follow. Number three, join professional associations that are related to this new area that you want to move into in less than 30 days, and actually attend their events. And so you're interested in something, maybe you're just slightly pivoting, or maybe it's completely new, but it's within your skill sets, your strengths, your talents, and your gifts. Pivot. Go to those associations and then attend their events. Very similar to the conference, example I was just giving right now. You will learn a lot. You will learn what is important to them. You will learn what are some of the challenges, and I'll tell you why it's important for you to know some of the challenges in that industry. You will learn, what are the standards. You may even learn what's going to happen in that industry, whether at a local level with laws or regulation, or at a global level. What are people moving to? What are the new themes? Maybe for purpose, impact investment, etc. You will then start hearing what is really important to the people that are invested in that industry. Number four, I already said, you sign up to online conferences. If you can attend physically, great, but you can also sign up to a bunch of things online. Listen, I am learning entire new worlds that I didn't know of 3 years ago, which is when we moved to where we moved to. I'm learning them through webinars. I am attending all these free webinars. My husband sees me on these things on a daily basis. There is somebody's webinar at least once a day that I attend. They are free and they are rich. They spend an hour really investing an hour to add value to their viewers, to their audience, because obviously at the end of it, they have an offer and they want you to buy something. Sign up to a service, buy a product. But that 1 hour is not just a toying marketing ploy. They really do invest the best of what their business does and how they distinguish themselves. And so you can quickly learn about a career and an industry just by watching the people that are the authorities in those areas. And so what I found now in this online business space, the online consulting, online coaching space, I have found now that I have followed, there's an ecosystem of people. There is an ethos, values that they share, and the way that they do business, etc. I have come to find that I am now following, I think, the top 100 in the country I am in that area. Because I kept on following one person, was following another, was following another. And then right now, I am right in the middle of it, even if I'm not part of them, and they have no idea that there is this person is actually mapping us out. I've now been following them, and so their webinars, and sometimes they will do things together. They will collaborate, or what one person starts with, maybe somebody else does the next level of the value chain, or somebody's downstream, somebody else is upstream, and so you're getting a 360 perspective, which you wouldn't if you were to just apply for a job, right? You're getting a 360 perspective of an area just by following people. YouTube. Oh, I'm so grateful for YouTube. So number 5 is watch YouTube tutorials. I've done this for as long as there's been YouTube and there's been the online space. I will watch videos real quick before I go to a meeting. I mean, I would rather learn the basics, than say no, which sometimes has worked against me, than say no to, and leave money on the table. And so go learn, go to YouTube. You have a choice between a 30-second, 5-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour, and even longer videos related to that topic. So for those that I see have real value, I subscribe and I put on the notification bell. Okay, maybe I don't put on the notification bell a lot because I don't really like a lot of bells, but I definitely subscribe so that I can always, I'll always have on my YouTube feed, when I get back on YouTube, the recent topics that that person or that organization has released in that area. And so I get not only to know the area, I get to know it as it breaks, like breaking news and what's really happening right now. And I also have on my phone news apps or wherever I can get the latest information in a certain industry. So I follow people, I follow organizations, I follow topics. Like when people hashtag a topic and hashtag a theme, I follow those as well. On LinkedIn, I follow people, I follow interests, I follow topics, I follow organizations, because they're the people and the organizations and the topics that are really trending in the area that I'm looking to grow in less than 30 days. And by the way, I've done this in less than 30 days. I've grown into the area I've grown in. All right, then seek a mentor. Find somebody in this area and either shadow them if at all possible. And this could be, yes, I am in my 30s, I'm in my 40s, I'm in my 50s, I have my own thing. But listen, humble yourself and learn from somebody. You're starting afresh, right? And so humble yourself, go to this person, find out if you can shadow them, or if not, make time to ask them, pointed questions. Listen, the better your questions, the better the answers you get. And so you can tell them that you're looking to transition in this area. You can tell them where you're coming from and why you think this is a smooth next step, why this is a logical, pivot for you. And you can ask them to tell you about their experience. You can ask them to tell about, what is really the benefits of being in this area, or what are the highlights, the pros and the cons of this area, what to look out for. If somebody's looking to transition, what are some things that you should put into consideration? Number 7, volunteer. Oh yeah, volunteer your time. Even if you're seasoned in the area you're in, you're a baby and on baby steps in the new area that you want to move into. And because you want to do it in 30 days or less, volunteer to serve in that area. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody will let you, actually serve the technical issues. They might want you to do the management, the admin, just receiving people, going through the research, going through information. Actually, if you get research work, guys, just take on the desk work, because you're actually getting to learn what somebody else spent decades to prepare. Number 8, read and listen to books on the topic. So whether I'm washing dishes, whether I am cooking, whether I'm taking a shower, I am commuting, I have audiobooks, or if I'm sitting somewhere, a waiting line, bank, you're waiting to get a service somewhere, open your book. Read up on these things that other people, have done. Audiobooks have been such a blessing to me. I cannot say enough about them. And then this now starts getting interesting. This now starts getting to the implementation for you. Google job descriptions and job vacancies in this area. And so when you have narrowed down to an area that is, still aligns with your skills and your strengths and your gifts and your talents, but you're pivoting slightly. And one of the things that I ask people to look at is also the organization chart. Where would this role fall in, and what exactly do people in this role do? So you Google job descriptions and vacancies so you can see the language of it. What kind of qualifications are they looking for? What will the duties involve? What are the responsibilities? What are some of the competencies they need the person to have? How much investment of their time, of travel, sorry, the sun is getting in my face, would you need to make? So you look at all of those. Then the next thing that you do is you start tailoring your CV, your cover letter, your social media profile, your LinkedIn profile. If you're not on LinkedIn, people, I don't know what to say. If you're Korean business not on LinkedIn, come on, my people, don't let me down. So you need to go open LinkedIn account and create a profile. So you now start changing the language. You've looked at the job descriptions. You've looked at the vacancies. You now start seeing the language that they put on there of what this industry and these positions and this career requires. So you start using that language on your profile, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, wherever we will find you. We start seeing these keywords that are associated with this new career that you want to transition to in less than 30 days. And then the next thing, so I said number 9 was Google job descriptions. Number 10 was, start changing your career and your cover letter and your social media presence. And then number 11, connect with people, very much like the mentors. Thank you so much for the love. Mwah, mwah. Esther, thank you. It's just as much as connecting with the mentors in the area, also connect with people on LinkedIn. So you can actually search for people according to industry, according to these keywords that are associated with this new career. You can search them according to an organization. So all employees of a certain organization, the people that have this specific certification, if that's what you need, people that are working in this position, if you actually have an actual position, a similar position to that. And LinkedIn gives you millions of people that fit the profile. And of course, you can narrow down your search. Then either follow those people or go to message on LinkedIn and message them and ask them, if they can tell them that you want to transition into this career, if they can tell you their journey, if they can share a little bit more about the industry, and maybe you want to narrow it down in that market or in a specific niche. And you can ask them about their job specifically, whether they're actually in the similar role to what you want to get into, or they're higher up, preferably similar role or higher up. No point in really, there could be a point, but it's not going to add too much value to you as somebody who's lower down in that position. And then also, how you could position yourself best to get into a role such as that, and share your CV and your cover letter. If they would be open to reviewing them for you, share that with them. If it's a service like yours truly, thank you very much, pay me and I'll do the review and I'll help you with that. And so you can really quick, without thinking, I need to go back to school for this. Oh, I need to get the work experience for this. Oh, it won't make sense if my background is in this area. Now I want to transition to this area. People will wonder where I'm coming from. These are hacks. These are real career and business hacks to transitioning from what you're doing now, pivoting to another. And like I said, you can do this both if it's a career, it's employment, you're looking to pivot to another organization or another position or another industry. And you can do this for business as well. If you're looking to add to your portfolio certain services that you haven't done thus far, but somewhat related, so that you're not flailing in a completely alien territory, you can do this. What else do I have for you? Yeah, I think that's it. And so, I've had people ask me that I really don't want to continue with what I've been doing so far. And sometimes I feel like the thing, especially if you've switched to something out of convenience, out of desperation, out of just, these are the circumstances of my life, and so I'm doing what I'm doing, you might get to a point where you're thinking, how on earth do I get back? Or how on earth do I get to the thing that I do now want to do when I've done this thing and maybe now it's given me a different impression? I recently had somebody ask me, we had this, one of those complimentary calls that I do with people. Somebody said, well, this is my background, but I took on a role, and they took on a role with a financial institution, which had nothing at all to do with their NGO background. And so now she's saying, I want to go back into international development, I want to go back into the development field. Would I still be able to? How will I explain this pivot? How will I explain the fact that I diverted and went somewhere else? And I said, well, you were applying the competencies, the knowledge, the skills, the attitude that were similar to what you were doing before. And so that is the thread that you can carry along. And one of the other things that I told her is I naturally have multiple CVs. She said, what? I said, yeah. I don't have just the one CV and I take it everywhere. I have to look at the job description. I have to look at the vacancy posting. And then look at what I'm doing now. You don't create, guys. Do not create a background that you don't have. You just look at what you have currently done and how you already today have the knowledge, the skills, the experience, the technical competencies that you can transfer to the other place. And then now start crafting your CV, your cover letter, and your social media profile, and the associations that you follow and the people that you follow. Start doing and putting in the keywords and using the language and highlighting the aspects that are more aligned with where you want to go than where you are or where you've been. So I hope that has helped. I feel very chuffed. I'm very happy that I shared this with you, because a lot of people are asking, and this is how I have done it myself. If you guys know, lawyer turned human resource, consultant, and then now I'm more into the executive coaching. And you might say, it's more or less the same thing. Not really, technically, and in terms of focus, you will draw out similar skill sets out of you, but you apply them differently. And also, some of the things that I'm interested in, what I have done, or even an online business, or online services. I mean, there's so many things that seem like, you just put online and there isn't a just. I mean, when people start talking about copy editing and the copy that you use and the language that you use to market and the language that you use that will get you leads and the language that you use to get the leads to convert to sales, and the ratio between how many people you have to speak to before people actually will buy from you, you're like, oh my goodness, there's a whole science to this. Like, I need to be a mathematic genius. Not really. Just follow and listen to those that have gone ahead of you, and you can quickly transition, literally in less than 30 days. You can go from who you are now and what you do now to a completely new area. You can reinvent yourself, and you can continuously do that if you wish to in life. So somebody has a question. Question. Let me see. Someone said colossal information. Thank you, Andrea. My sister Margaret said, love you, true inspiration. God bless you. Thank you. G's watching. Better, thank you, miss. You're welcome. So true, preaching gold right now. Oh, thank you, G. I'm so glad this is of value to you. Andreas is absolutely, I thought I had a question. Please share some of these webinars that you have found both useful and insightful. Oh my goodness, there are so many. So here, listen, this is the best way to know who's influencing me right now. Go to my Instagram. Okay, so LinkedIn may not be a good reflection, because I am friends with a lot of people, anybody that wants to befriend me. So LinkedIn may not be a reflection of who I am following, but Twitter is a reflection of who I am following, and Instagram is a reflection of who I choose to follow. Facebook and LinkedIn, not so much. And so rather than just tell you the webinars, which I could, but it depends on what your interest is, so I have been learning about coaching and consulting online, having an online business, building an online empire. These are the things that have been my thing at the moment. And so I can tell you who I find to be of value there. But for you to know who's influencing me right now, go check out my Instagram, check out my Twitter. So some of it will be spiritual, guys. Spiritual powers and that, so you'll have to just get over that. They influence me. But some of the people that are in the kingdom of God that are spiritual are also in industry, and so I follow them too. Instagram, I think, is where I've gone all out. Like, if you are in an area that I am interested in, I follow you, your spouse, your business, your nonprofit, like your workout routine. So go to Instagram and go to Twitter to see the people that are currently influencing me and who I am following, and I am hacking, and I hope I don't even sound like them, because I truly follow them closely. Everything they have. Like, just today, I have 2 courses. One is on podcasting, because you guys know I'm about to release a podcast. And the other one that I have today is about kingdom business. And so doing, being wealthy and doing very well in business God's way. So today is Pedro Adao, and the other lady, what's her name? But it's called Side Hustle Pro. So if you, forgive me that I've forgotten her name, but Side Hustle Pro. So she has a webinar that I signed up for. And Pedro Adao, it is Pedro, that has the kingdom business that I am following. Today I'm going to be on their webinars. Question. You can get the gold. Yes, you can. Volunteer even when you're old. Yup. Volunteer even when you're old. You don't have to call it volunteering. Give it a spin if your ego is really hurt and bruised and you're thinking, but that's what it is. You're learning. Or invite somebody to coffee. Buy them lunch. Ask that you have regular sessions, like a mentor. Ask that you have regular sessions and ask them questions. And when they give you advice, go apply that advice. You can do that. But yes, volunteering, why not? And then you can also say what you can bring of value. So listen, I want to learn from you in this thing, but this is what I can do, especially since, you know, it's going to be related to your gifts and your talents and your strengths. So there's something you can also bring to the table. And so you can tell them, listen, I can do this. So I will come and do this, but I'm going to be here learning and growing. A question from Najra, Madam. Yes, you have answered it, that you can do it even if you're old, right? Right. Yeah. What else we got? Okay, so I just want to say thank you. No more questions. If you have other questions, other comments, you know where to find me. info@purposeandexcellence.africa. And of course, you can DM me. But it's better that you send me an email. It's official, that I can respond back to you officially. Thank you, Innocent. Thank you, Lillian, Edwin. Thank you, Violet. Thank you so much for coming on. Katie. Hey, Katie. Shalom. Robert. Hi, my brother. Thank you. John Mutaza. Thank you for coming in. Florida. Alfie. Bertha. Who else we got here? Rita. Matilda. Christopher. Glory, another Glory, Sandile, hi Sandile, Kevin, Alice, Lillian Yekichume, Shkamoda Lily, Jordan, and Isabel, my sister, and Virginia. I think I've got everybody that's come on, and Najra, of course. So this is how you can do it. Truly, it's working for me. And of course, I've been at it longer now, but this is how I hacked it. I followed people and I followed who they're following. I subscribe to everything they've got to give out there. I have, paid to get into associations. I am shadowing people. I'm asking questions, shamelessly calling and asking people all the time. If somebody has an amazing program, I can't afford it, I will tell them what I can do for them in exchange, because I want to get on that program and I want to learn. And I'm almost 40 years old and ain't no shame to this game. This is something I'm doing now. This is how I'm pivoting, and this is how I'm learning. I am not going back to school for everything I need, but I do need to learn it so that I can give something of value in the marketplace. And this is how I've done it. And all my different CVs, you will see, are pivoted according to what it is I'm applying for and what it is that I'm putting out that I'm capable of doing. All right. I hope that has helped and you've enjoyed it. And please do share this with other people. Share this far and wide, guys. I'm going to put this video on YouTube so that other people want to see and will like to share. So I'll share the link in a little bit. I'm glad that you've enjoyed it. I'm glad that it's of value. And of course, what do you do at the end of the video? You tell people, hey, listen, if you'd like me to help you with this process, you can contact me on info@purposeandexcellence.africa, or just visit purposeandexcellence.africa, and I would be glad to coach and consult you through your career and your business transition. Voila! That's how they do it. I'm doing it too. All right, take care. Mwah. Bye. Modesta Mahiga from Purpose and Excellence. Until next time. I love you guys. Take care. Oh, wait, there's a question. How does one succeed with this online coaching? Hi, Deo. You're asking me this just as we leave. This, honestly, you can go to info@purposeandexcellence.africa and then let's have this conversation, but also follow. I am following people. So go to Instagram, follow me, and see all the people I follow, and follow, not all the people, sorry, don't just follow every random person. No. Look at the people that are doing, coaching, online business. My email, info@purposeandexcellence.africa. I'm going to put it down on the feed. Go look at the coaches I'm following. Go look at the people that have online businesses, that have online sales funnels, that have customer relations management systems, the people that are executive coaches, life coaches, online entrepreneurs that are consulting in certain area. Go follow those people that I'm following. So follow me and follow those that I follow that are related to that area. And I think I more or less are following people of substance, so you probably won't go wrong following anybody I'm following. I don't think there's anyone who's like completely of the people I follow. So yeah, if you're comfortable just going out there and following everybody I follow, do that. If not, you can be discriminate, and many of them have it written down. It's pretty obvious from just their handle what it is that they do. You're welcome, Dale. You're welcome, Bertha. Send the link. Oh, certainly, sending it through right now. So this has been beautiful. Sun is scorching me. Gotta go. I love you guys. Take care. Mwah.